Morning, everybody. It's your boy D Max. So let's talk. All right. So, like I said, good morning, congregation. It's time for us to get into this. We're going to talk about Reggie Bush and the NCAA a little bit because we got some things going on that we need to discuss. All right. So, now with the NCAA coming out with the rule that players can make money off of their likeness and image in college sports, the question has come up: are they going to give Reggie Bush his Heisman back? Because if you remember, they took Reggie Bush's Heisman because of permissible benefits that he was receiving when he was at USC. And they stripped him of his Heisman. And even though this rule has changed, they still refuse to give Reggie Bush his Heisman trophy back. How do we feel about this? Because for one, okay, he broke the rules. He knew what the rules were. The NCAA rules are very clear, and he broke those rules by receiving these gifts. But now let's be honest. We see Zion Williamson in he was in some hot water for a minute because his family was accepting gifts from alumni at Duke, and this is not something new. This is something that's going back for a long time. You remember they even came out with the movie Blue Chips, talking about how these college players were influenced and paid off by these boosters and these alumni members through gifts and surprises. And so we have to look at this and take this into consideration. It's not like Reggie Bush was a singled out person who did something just out of his own mind. No, this is a tradition, basically. Because when you go around to these booster clubs and stuff like that, and they hand you an envelope, the envelope got some cash in there, and it's a substantial amount because these guys don't make any money when they're on these full scholarships. They get a food stipend, they get their tuition and all of that stuff paid for, and their lodging and everything, but they don't have no walk around money. They don't have no money to do the extra things that they want to do unless they get a side job. And if you're a college athlete on a scholarship, that's a hard thing to do because you have so much other stuff that you have to do. And so if you don't have any outside income, then you're going to be struggling a lot of times and eating those ramen noodles. And so Reggie Bush, he took some gifts, just like all of the other star athletes. I'm pretty sure that LeBron James got some donations. I'm pretty sure that KD got some donations. All of these players who didn't come from a background of good means got some donations when they were in college. So let's not play this game like everybody else is innocent in this. And if that's the case, then all of these other Heisman trophies need to be stripped as well. All of these accolades that these guys got from college need to be stripped because we know that most of them took donations. Um, I seen it in my own personal life because there's some people in my circle that's connected to me that have been to the pro level in sports, and the assistance that they received when they were in college, it didn't come from us. It didn't come from the family because the family didn't have nothing. The family was looking to them to succeed so that they could come back and help the family, if anything. So a lot of that money and a lot of those gifts, which were appreciated because they were heavily needed, because college don't allow weren't allowing people to make money off of their own image. It's highly appreciated by these players and the parents alike because that takes some of the financial burden off of the parents. See, this is what we are not looking at. That right there is something that the NCAA needs to take into consideration. There's a lot of people out here who raise their children with the hopes of them going to the league and them being able to retire. That's just a reality. That's one thing that black parents we've become accustomed to because that's really been our only go-to for the longest. The only way that our children could succeed for a long time in the United States was through entertainment, whether it be sports, whether it be music, or whether it be dancing or whatever. We only were able to succeed in the areas of entertainment. And so we pushed sports on our children because one, it kept them out of the streets and away from the gangs, kept them out of trouble. It gave them a sense of responsibility and ethics. And, this is something as parents that we want for our children. That's one of the main reasons why I kept my kids in sports. I had my daughter in cheerleading. I had my sons in football, basketball, or track or wrestling, whatever they took interest in. I made sure that it happened for them because I knew it was going to keep them out of the streets and away from all of these gangs and all of this stuff out here like that, because that's what boxing did in my life. And so when you have these type of situations, the NCAA needs to really, really reform all of these rules that they have, because the world is different. The world is not the same. And these guys definitely need the opportunity to make some money so that they won't go out and do the questionable things while they're in college that will mess up their stock going into the league. I remember a long time ago, there was a player, I believe he played for UNLV, and he had a t-shirt business, a lucrative t-shirt business. It wasn't just a little couple $100 here and there. No, he was making a substantial income off of the t-shirt business that he and his mother made. And the NCAA told that man that he had to stop his t-shirt business because it was a conflict of interest and it was against NCAA rules. So what did that kid do? Um, I'm going to go and reread the story so I can get it fully straight, because I don't want to give no bad information on here. But that's a crazy situation. The whole point of going to college is to learn how to become a professional and a business person and a corporate minded person. So if this young man is already enterprising while he's in college, why would they discourage that? Never mind the sports he's playing. Why would you discourage a man from enterprising when he's there at college to learn how to be an enterprising entrepreneur? Or does college not teach you to be an entrepreneur? That's another question that we have to ask. I've talked about this before. Does college just teach you to become a good employee to make somebody else rich, or do they teach you to become an owner and to be an entrepreneur and make your own wealth? It depends on what your mindset is going into that environment. If you're going into that environment because you have a specific career in mind, then you're going to go and make somebody else rich. But at the same time, you can start your own. Say, like a counselor. A counselor can start their own practice. Medical professional can start their own practice. There's certain areas in college that can teach you how to start your own business. That's why you have a lot of people going into business management, because that teaches you how to manage your business once you get your business up and running. So there's definitely some benefits of going to college. I never discourage anybody from getting an education, because when sports or injuries fail you in those sports, you'll have something to fall back on, and that's very important in your life. But yeah, Reggie Bush, I think Reggie should get his Heisman back. But even if he don't get his Heisman back, bro, it's just a trophy. Really, at the end of the day, it's nothing more than a trophy. You know what you did. Every USC alumni, every USC fan, every Reggie Bush fan know what you did. And we give you a Heisman. If that's the case, then the people, I feel like we should band together, and all of these guys who had their Heisman stripped by the NCAA, we need to band together. We need to go in and we need to make a people's Heisman to give these young men, because that's the ones who really determine the greatness and the popularity of these players for them to even get the Heisman. Yeah, they have their little judges core or whatever, but the judges go based off of what the people say. So, Reggie, here's my Heisman to you, my brother. And I wish I could add on, get up some money and get you an actual trophy made to replace what they stripped away from you. They'll never be able to strip away from what we saw and what we experienced you do on that field at USC, that nobody has ever been able to do, nor has been able to do since you. we appreciate you, Reggie. We appreciate what you did in the NFL as well. Uh, Sorry that you got caught up in the Kardashian curse, but it is what it is, man. Somebody had to take that strike, man. But you recovered, you did your thing, man, and you are a great asset to the NFL. We are so glad that we got to experience you, Reggie Bush, and you're always a Heisman winner in our book. So that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to get his young brother his flowers because I know he's frustrated right now because that's something that he worked hard for. But brother, you already got your reward. So this is your boy D Mac, man. Like I say, sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.